In 2008, we interviewed a number of people around their business email practices, and we found some interesting things, some common misconceptions around how people are dealing with high-value internet messaging, how they're recording to give them that proof record. We found that people are often printing out email from their sent folder, not realizing that tells nothing about whether or not the email got to the other party. It can be edited with a couple clicks of a mouse, so that gives them very little record. We found that people copied or blind copied themselves on an important email, not realizing that what happens for the internal email is different than the external. And so it has no bearing if they get the internal copy, whether or not the receiver is getting a copy on their end. We found people were using their Outlook read receipts or systems that required receivers to click on this or download that, not realizing that the receiver most of the time is not going to go through extra steps for the benefit of the sender. And we found that people relied on their email archive often, not realizing that the archive gives them a record of half the picture, missing the internet side of the transaction. And so thinking about all these, what we call common misconceptions around business email, we realized that the RPost solution, our core registered email for proof of delivery, content, and time, is something that solves or gives people the tool that permits them to have that proof and protection without going through those other steps that really leave them exposed. The high-value messages, you'll want to make sure that you're retaining in a form that is admissible in court, can reconstruct the entire transaction, can give you the upper hand in any dispute around that particular email transaction or correspondence, and is packaged in a way that, importantly, can be self-authenticated, meaning you don't have to rely on any forensics experts to protect you. And for this registered email, for your consequential or commitment email, the RPost system gives you this registered receipt, which is that underlying record of that transaction, legal proof that can self-authenticate, reconstruct the electronic original, and give you the upper hand in any disputes around who said what to whom by email. Cox Communication signed on and began using our e-sign-off service, electronic contract execution by email, to close business deals faster, to get the recipient sign-off on contracts within minutes as opposed to days when they were using the email contract out, fax back, scan in the signed fax, and then keep it in their record systems. Today we're seeing a much higher need for companies to use our services to cut cost, to have very tangible results, meaning use our services to reduce the paper, reduce the FedEx, reduce the faxing, cut costs, and cut administrative overhead.